Well, hello guys, what is up? Welcome back to the Workbench. I'm Dan here as always, and I got a new video showing the latest projects I've been working on for myself and for other people. Wrapping up some locomotive projects, doing a bunch of rail cars for other people. I know a lot of you right now are wondering about the tunnel motor. I'll go ahead and touch on that real quick. The 6112 build is still working on. I'm still working on that. I'm filming a couple more sections for it right now. Matter of fact, I just wrapped up some more filming on it today. But the project's been going. I had to stop for a minute because I had to work on a bunch of customer projects. I had like 20 cars I had to do, so I had to stop everything I was doing on that and start working on some customer projects. A couple of them were priority because I had to get some cars out to some people who are getting ready to basically move, and they wanted to have the cars back in package with them so they could basically box them up and take them with them. A couple things like that. I had a couple projects like that I had to wrap up. So most of the stuff I'll be showing in this video for now that I have, but I have a bunch more cars I got to do for some other people that I'm holding on to. So we'll get back to that. But again, I'll have some more updates on the 6112 as we go along, and some more videos will be coming up pretty soon here. So as for projects I've been working on for myself, I've went ahead and started working on some tank cars. Athens been releasing some really cool releases in tank cars. They've been doing the LPG 3-packs, which are awesome. They just did the Acid Tank Car 3-packs. I can't wait to get a couple of those. But the first couple cars I've gotten are singles because I only needed one example of each. The first one is a GATX car, which I'll go ahead and take the camera off the tripod to show. This one is based on the real prototype, 11963. Heavily weathered, well, excuse me, not heavily weathered, just lightly weathered, faded down just a little bit, toned it down so that it wasn't so glossy. You got the kick-up spray, my usual treatment for these tank cars. Heavy washes on the underbody where all the kick-up is, nicely weathered wheels, clean rims, and then we got the acid spillage coming from the top. On the top itself, the prototypes have different handrails than what's on the Athearn model, so I had to heavily modify that. So it's got all new platforms and railings, which I made from scratch with photo etch pieces, brass railings, and styrene parts. So that all came out really good. Painted all the acid spillage on there, chucks, and everything to create that effect. Updated the data on the car. Other than that, nothing too crazy. There's a look at the kick-ups on the end, the kick-up spray patterns on the end, rather. Something I really love to do. I haven't done that in a while, so this was kind of a fun car to kind of get back into that. This side, again, basically the same, but a good modern general service tank car I can put to service, look good in a mixed freight. The second one is a UTLX car. This is a 23,000 gallon prototype. Again, weathered off of prototype photos. This is a relatively fresh repaint, so all I had to do here was add the safety striping, weather wheels, add the light kick-up spray, just starting at the bottom. Like I said, relatively fresh new paint, so it's not too bad yet. The only thing that's pretty significant on this car is the heavy spillage of the material that it's carrying. I believe it's a biodiesel chemical, but it's splattered all over the top there. I did that with some oils and then a little bit of powders to create that effect. Nothing too much I had to do on it, like I said, just light weathering. Got the kick-up spray on this end, just starting to work up the ends, and on the platforms, weathered couplers, that kind of thing. But pretty basic weathering on this. This side has the prototype tag that I found a picture of, so you can see I added that. All looks pretty good. So that's the two tank cars I've been working on. These are really cool cars, ready to go back into service on my layout. Alright, this car is another one of mine. I actually just sold it off to someone, but I wanted to show it while I still have it. This is an old car I've had for a while. It had the old graffiti on it. I did a long time ago. I just updated the tags a little bit, added some more tags based on photos, new safety striping, finished the weathering, that kind of thing, updated some stuff, new couplers, that kind of thing. I finished the weathering on the roof, so I faded the roof down quite a bit and then added the metal pitting. As you can see, that cool little effect I do with the silver Sharpie. It looks really cool. This side has the finished graffiti as well, which I layered on as of prototype photos. So that's all finished. So this is going to a guy I'm doing some cars for. It's set aside for him, but that's a cool model I was working on that I wanted to show you guys while I still have it. ZP354493. It's a Gunderson Athearn car. Really cool model. Okay, so next up I got 3 Athearn rail boxes that I'd like to show you guys. These are ones I've been working on for a customer. Who's also a friend of mine. These are all done in different levels of weathering. The first one is RBOX 36170, weathered off of prototype photos. Got the prototype graffiti and everything added to it, safety striping, patching where needed. You guys can see that. It's basic rust pitting, beat up logo. I like to do that on these rail boxes. So there's all the custom graffiti. The roof came out pretty good on this. It's pretty pitted, pretty faded, and then you got some of the rust. And then you can see some areas where they actually did some patch repairs to cover up some areas possibly where some water was leaking, and I'm not sure, but I saw a car like this when I was in Fort Wayne recently. I actually got to see a number of boxcar roofs with this kind of effect, and I wanted to model that, so this car was a good test ground for that effect. So it's a cool little patch job on the roof that I did there. This side again has some really neat graffiti. Mostly heavy washes down the sides, a little bit of oil work, some pitting done, custom graffiti, and then you got the spray paint patching where they added the new number over the graffiti and safety striping. Beat up logo, beat up door, all that stuff is done. So this is a pretty neat prototype, and then it's got some rust just starting to work down the sides of the car. Like I said, these are pretty fresh repaints. They're not too terrible. The next two that I got are actually really unusual. They're pretty heavily weathered based on prototype photos, and these are two exact rail cars that I got next. They're the combo door cars that they released a while back, and these are customized off of photos again. First car is ABOX 52437. You can see it's pretty heavily weathered. It's got a lot of pitting starting. The door's starting to get beat up. It's got some custom graffiti. Different methods for doing the graffiti on that. Most of it's hand painted. Some of it's drawn on there, sketched on. It looks pretty cool. Again, lots of heavy graffiti. The railing's starting to really rust. On the door tracks there. Some custom patching, safety striping added. The roof came out pretty good. It's got the yellow roof that's starting to pit. And then it's got some rusty panels and everything like that. Another weird variation you see on these rail box cars is that roof. These things are really weird, man. They all weather differently. There's the end. But I've had a lot of fun recreating a lot of these. This side has some really cool patching and really cool graffiti. You can see there's the patching, some rust pitting, all that good stuff. Door work, nice graffiti there. So this is a really cool car. That one's for the customer I'm talking about. All three of these are for the same guy. Next one is ABOX 51179, and again there's some custom graffiti done, custom weathering, all that good stuff. This one has the primer patches for the safety striping made out, as you can see, black primer patching. Basic weathering on the wheels. Again, got the rust starting to just break down the side of the car. Beat up logo, faded logo. The roof on this one has the repair spots on the top as well, and some rust starting. And then this side, pretty much a little bit more basic, but again, all this is based off of prototype photos that I found online. Trying to copy them best I can with prototype graffiti, patching, and everything like that. But it looks pretty good. All these are pretty much done at the same time, so that's the three that I just finished. Like I said, these are going to get boxed up and they're going to all get sent back to the guy. Actually, it's the same guy who bought the, if I can find it again, I just put it back. The Gunderson car here, this one. Same guy bought all these together, so I'm going to be sending these back. But those are really cool. Those are really neat cars. I'm doing some of these for myself at the same time. Since I have Railbox weathering techniques down, I figured I might as well knock it out. Do a couple of these cars for myself and for some other people. Because I actually got a bunch of these. I have 10 of these I'm doing total. A couple of them again are for myself, but most of them are for customers, various customers. So those are the first three I've gotten done. We'll go ahead and move on to some other cars here. Next car to show is another prototype you guys might recognize. This is one of the cars I actually own, but I've done up for a customer. This was a single project he sent me. He wanted it prototype weather just like the one I had. So I again followed the photos, did the rust pitting and everything, faded it down a little bit, started to weather over the patching just a little bit, added some custom tags. The roof is always fun to do on these PCNF cars because they rust and pit really bad, and you can see I replicated that with some washes, mostly with oils. Got the ends there with the custom patching, nice grime starting to kick up on the ends. Rusty wheels, that good stuff. And then on this side again, all prototype weathering, finished the patching. Looks pretty good, lots of heavy washes on this. But that's a cool Athearn model. These are actually really hard to find, so it's cool that I ran into another one of these, but this is for a customer, so it's all wrapped up. I just need to clear coat it and it'll get sent back. So that's a really cool car that I just did. I got a couple other cars that I'm doing right now that I'll show later on, but right now they're in various stages, like this one in the back here, for example. This is another Railbox I'm doing. This is another one I'm doing for a different guy. I can see I pretty much have the base effects. I started to beat up the logo a little bit, scuffed up this logo on this side, but this is pretty much ready for an oil wash, and then I got to start adding the graffiti. Roof is prepped, ends are prepped, pretty much everything's prepped on it. So this side you can see the rust pitting I've done, and then the whole underbody is weathered as well. But I'm just doing, like I said, a bunch of these cars right now in particular that I gotta repatch. do new data, add graffiti to. So they're a lot of work. They're really tedious, but I mean, they take a little bit of time, but they really do. They come out good when they're done. I have a couple more that I got to show, but like I said, I'll save that for another video. In the meantime, to kind of wrap this update video up for now, I have a locomotive I'll go ahead and show you guys, and you'll recognize this from a while back. This is from my Athearn review of the Union Pacific GP40s. This one I have just finished, the 1342. It's all back together now. You can see I've added the washes, but again, nothing's really crazy on this locomotive. It's a very clean prototype. It's just slightly faded down a little bit. It's got some red streaking coming down from the battery box. Lightly weathered the trucks, the fuel tank with some washes, got some scraping on the fuel tank, and then diesel fuel spill. Darkened the grills, that kind of thing. But again, not too crazy. A little bit of soot on the top. Details added by me, but nothing crazy. New plows were finally installed. It took me forever to get those new plows from Athearn. But those are all installed. On a couple of models I had, because I had to upgrade the plows because I had the wrong plows. So I ordered the North Little Rock style snow plows from Athearn, got a whole bunch of those, and I've been installing them on a bunch of various models. So there's that side. This side is again pretty much the same in terms of weathering. This one's really cool. It's got the yellow reflective sill tape added and all that. It's a really cool model. It's ready for service. I got this all finished up. It's equipped with DCC and ready to go. It's got the working LED ditch lights and everything too as well, which is pretty fucking cool. So yeah, that's the 1342. The other one I have is I'm just finishing up as well as an SP prototype. That's actually still in the works. It's down there right now, right there in the back. I still got to finish some stuff up on that. But yeah, that's the first one I finished. I've been holding on to these for a while, as I said. But that's the 1342, and that's the last model I'm going to go ahead and show for this video. As for layout updates, nothing to talk about there. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about a layout update. I don't have anything to talk about there for now because there's still a lot I got to work out in terms of working on bench work. I got to do something about the air. That's the biggest priority. Working on some electrical outlets, stuff like that in the garage I got to correct first before I can do any kind of modeling, because the biggest thing right now is the central air situation. There's no circulation in that garage whatsoever, obviously, because it's a garage. It gets miserably hot in the summertime, miserably cold in the wintertime. If I want to build a Muller Road out there, I got to have proper heating, proper AC, air conditioning, to make it suitable. Otherwise, there's no point in building a Muller Road if I'm only going to be able to use the thing, you know, in the spring and, you know, parts of the fall when it's not too miserably cold or too hot. So I got to address some stuff out there. That's going to be the next step. But, you know, hopefully down the road in the next couple of months, we'll start making some significant progress, and I can start talking about the layout itself and with you guys in a little bit more detail, and we can get the ball rolling on that. But that pretty much wraps it up for now, guys. Like I said, I got a bunch more projects in the works. That's just a quick glimpse, and then of course there's the 6112 waiting to come back into the spotlight. But I got a bunch more cars I'm working on, a bunch more projects for other people you guys can stay tuned for. But that's a quick update I wanted to put out there for you guys to keep you guys in touch. Hopefully you like my content. Like I said, I keep working on this stuff all the time. I got a bunch more models coming. Be sure to follow my work here on YouTube. Follow my, you can subscribe here, like I said. Follow my work on Facebook and Instagram. My Facebook page is Dan's Custom Trains. My name is Daniel Arnold. You can follow me there. And stay tuned for more projects on there. Instagram is all lowercase. It's Danny Dankinson, funny enough. You guys can again follow my work there on Instagram. I'm always posting pictures of stuff I'm doing for other customers. But that's about it for now, guys. Like I said, take it easy for now. I'll see you later.